Hello, good evening. My name is Emmanuel Joseph Edu. We're discussing on how you can be able to take charge of your environment, control your environment, or control what stays within you. Let's just say control what stays within you. Now, our environment has about 90 to 100% of what is within us. What do I mean? That our environment dictates exactly what we have within ourselves. That means our environment is very key when it comes to our well-being. That was last week. I was making a presentation somewhere, and my lecturer threw a question back to me, asking me the mechanisms of teratogens. And I let him understand that teratogens are basically caused by environmental factors, even though some genetic factors can influence it, like some genetic property tends to, you know, have a kind of affinity to a kind of certain environment. That there are some genetic properties that if somebody have, if the mother have, if the mother have that kind of genetic property, if she if she is a diabetes patient and is not treated during pregnancy, it has a potency of causing more harm than somebody who have a different kind of genetic property. And that is it. And he was like, it's okay, Emma. After the environmental change, what next? At first, I never knew what he was asking. But when I had to call myself back because he said, Emma, that is not what I'm looking for. I told him it's okay. What happened is that these environmental factors, even though they are not internal factors, they tend to bring forth, cause mutation to our genes. One of them, like some drugs, you know, alcohol, chemical, disease pathogens like diabetes. Somebody have diabetes, there's a possibility that the child will develop, defects in psychomotor, defect in many places of the body, developmental problem, developmental problem, definitely, that they will be slow in development and the rest. And a lot of others, exposure to lead, some heavy chemicals like lead, mercury, and the rest. And you see, this is external factor. But when we talk about the defect becomes internal. That draws us back to our topic. Our topic today is how you can be able to control your internal, what stays within you over time. And one of the way you can control this is abstinence, staying off from them, like distancing yourself. I know because parenting has truly failed. Parenting has failed. The Bible told us that the young people, the female young people should go to the mothers, while the male young people should go to the fathers. But the reverse is the case. Fathers are not ready. We have fathers are not ready to train the young people. Mothers are not ready to train the young ladies, and because of that, the ladies are not training themselves. They want to learn from their mistakes rather than from the parents' mistakes. They want to learn from the mistakes of each other, which is very, very bad. I heard the proverb then. Doctor said that because I've seen a fellow of mine fall in a dish, I will not fall in that same dish. That's why it's so important that we will learn from past mistakes of people, because our life is just one. If you use your life for an experiment, you can't get it again. That's why for you to regulate your internal environment and regulate what stays forever, you must abstain from pollutants. Pollutants, when it talks about pollutants, they are words. They are words. What are things, what are spoken elements that create a reality of a person? Words are spoken elements that create a reality of a person. That means the person will see is words. The Bible says in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. I mean, the infrastructure of a whole person is created by through a word. That means for you as a person, you are, you are created, you are molded, you are formed with words. Now, I know many persons really want advice, but social media had made it in such a way that there are some of the advice you don't really need that are there. And for you to not to be created by those words, which may be in social media, which may be from your friends, one of the first thing you must do for yourself. Because when we talk about help, you must start from yourself. You must help yourself first before the next person can help you. And one of the way you can help yourself is to stay off from some advice, some information, because this is what happens. Immediately you are exposed to this information, records in your preconscious mind. And these things, after over time, it tends to grow, expands. And this then regulates your daily activities, because now when you want to make rational decisions, those things are there. Your neurons, your neurons, your neural glands tends to synapses, you know, join with each other, and they tends to make contact with this faulty information you've got into you think you have discarded it, but it's there. I want to tell you that there is nothing you have listened to that have left your brain. All of them are still intact. All of them are still intact. Your brain is such memory that it's easily to be formatted. It's hardly to be formatted, except you have a kind of accident that maybe destroy that gray matter, because it's the gray matter where the consciousness are found. Now anything you've seen, anything you've heard, anything you've conceived is in your brain. That is why for you to stay out of negativity, for you to control what stays, is for you to abstain from any environment that tends to promote violence, any environment that tends to promote hate, any environment that tends to promote what has not been verified. Many persons are promoting what has not been verified. Many persons are promoting hatred. Many persons are promoting, failure. There are two angles to this. They are actually a process you'll be going through because of training. They are actually a process you are going through because of your foolishness and the kind of advice you've taken from people. Yeah. That's why you have to differentiate between the one you are going. If you are really going through a track or a path because of the foolishness, your foolishness, or because of the advice you've taken from people in social media or your neighbors, the truth is that you are going to reap that same fruit. There is nothing for you. You are only going to be blessed if the path present you are going because of your wise steps, which possibly actually is molding you to a better future. That's why it's very important that you must be able to determine what happens around you, what you hear is very important, what you see and what you conceive. That is when you can be able to take charge of your environment.